Hello guys, in this video I'm going to talk about social issues in Sri Lanka, the causes and the possible solutions to itself. Sri Lanka is facing a devastating economic crisis at the moment. Recently, the government offices were overrun, the state broadcaster was hijacked, the presidential palace was ransacked, and the prime minister's house was set ablaze. What's next in this tragedy? What has caused it, and how can this crisis be fixed? All this will be looked at in this video. At the moment, Sri Lanka is in a mess. There's no government, no accepted leader, no food, and no fuel. Statistics show that 70% of Sri Lankans miss a meal every day. 12% of the poor households are at a crisis level. 4.8 million children are skipping school. 3 million people need humanitarian aid, and 400,000 Sri Lankans have lost their jobs. Furthermore, doctors are telling people not to get sick because there's a shortage of medicines. People are ditching their cars for bicycles because they do not have fuel, and hundreds have been caught illegally migrating to Australia to escape the economic crisis. All these lead to two questions. How did Sri Lanka drive itself to this, and how can it come out? Sri Lanka's biggest industries are tourism and agriculture. The recent COVID-19 pandemic ruined tourism, and agriculture was ruined by the poorly organized execution of fully becoming organic by banning chemical fertilizers, which led to low yields. These made Sri Lanka run out of money. Forex reserves were depleted. This is an import-dependent country. They import almost everything outside the country. It is the only country where cooking gas, washing machines, and refrigerators are sold at duty-free shops at the airport. Governments spent more than they earned. They did not take corrective measures and kept taking loans from other countries, which resulted in the depletion of resources to import fuel earlier this year, causing massive power cuts island-wide. That is when protests began and forced the president to resign. What happens next? Sri Lanka's issues are multidimensional. It requires multi-pronged solutions. Firstly, a political solution, which is appointing a stable government acceptable for all sides. Secondly, an economic solution that introduces reforms to reduce the debt burden. Third is social stability, which restores the public order. Last but not least, tackling the internal threats, which will prevent ethnic tensions from flaring up. The first step is a stable all-party government, which will be formed on 20th of July and will involve lawmakers from all parties. Since the country has not enough money to hold an election for now, it has to rely on an interim government that is established upon the parliament's consensus to restore the order of the country. The state's economy is in a critical stage. External debt stands at 51 billion US dollars. Foreign reserves at 25 million US dollars. The rate of inflation has risen to 80%. Food prices have risen 60%, and gas cylinders are selling for 16 US dollars. The currency has slipped to 360 Lankan rupees against the US dollar. And $5 billion are required to secure essential supplies for next 6 months. Therefore, the economic recovery will be a long and tough process. The World Bank has suggested 3 steps for Sri Lanka. The first is boosting agricultural productivity, which means rolling back using fertilizers policy and investing in fertilizers that are less damaging to the environment. Solution number 2 is investing in non-farming sectors. Apart from agriculture, tourism has been a mainstay of Sri Lanka's economy. This sector was severely devastated by COVID-19 pandemic, which disrupted the flow of tourists. The World Bank is stating that reviving tourism can help the economy significantly. Informal jobs are widespread in Sri Lanka, where 70% of the people do odd jobs. This has led to less productivity and more poverty. Sri Lanka needs reforms to correct this issue. Additionally, they also have to be alert to social stability and internal threats, since there's a power vacuum that could be exploited by radicals or extremists. To help Sri Lanka in these challenges, India has come forward to restore economic stability. Meanwhile, global bodies such as IMF will be pitching in with bailout packages, but it will take some time.